Hey YouTube, this is Wyatt and Kimber at Main Meadow Sanctuary. Today we're going to be diving into the costs of going off-grid. So if you've ever thought about going off-grid, but you've been overwhelmed by thoughts of cost, then you're not alone here. Making sure that you have a way to manage your money and being as self-sustainable as possible is one of the most important things. You got to know what you can do on your own first, and then you got to know what you can't do, what you're going to need to contract someone out for, or hire someone, or have a friend help you.
Because we had no idea what we were doing. So there's a lot of things that we could have done ourselves and saved money.
Yes,
but thankfully that we made those mistakes, you'll be able to learn from us.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to tell you pretty much what anyone with common sense could do themselves and where to save money.
Yeah, so this video is going to go over our own personal costs for us to go off-grid, and then we're going to show you all of the do's and don'ts and where you guys can save money. So
we're going to go over specific things that we did and how much exactly it cost and if we think we could have saved money or not.
Off-grid living isn't for the fancy. It may seem that way when you're watching your HGTV tiny home shows with their $1 million houses.
$1 million tiny house.
That's something that seems to deter people from actually going forward and doing it. You see all this?
All of that can be super overwhelming and it can make you seem like it's impossible and you never be able to afford it or whatever, but a lot of the things that we did and the specific things that we did and the way that we did them make it super manageable for even someone who's renting right now in the city. Like, you could do this, you could work the same job and do what we're doing just by saving ahead of time a little bit of money for your land and eventually your shelter.
Yeah, so basically it all comes down to prioritizing and minimalizing. Okay, here we go. So first we'll talk about land. So we found our land on Craigslist. I really recommend checking Craigslist. That's where you find the best deals, I guess.
Well, obviously, first you have to figure out where you want to live. We should make a whole other video on just figuring out where the heck you want to end up.
Well, the best way to figure out where you want to end up, I guess, is just to travel.
Well, we'll talk about that in a different video.
Sounds good. We can do that, hon. So, recommend Craigslist if you're tired of looking at LandWatch and Zillow and trying to find something.
Which you won't find. Like, yeah, you can go through realtor and whatever, but if you really want to get a decent amount of land for a good cost, I would do private party. Ours is super easy. Like, we met the people and we did a quick claim deed and it was within hours. We just owned the property the same day as we paid them. So It was like, you didn't have to go through anyone. You definitely want to check the state's laws on that and stuff. I'm sure it's different everywhere.
Yeah,
in every county. But yeah, we got super lucky and that was a lot of fun for us.
So we wound up paying $13,000 for almost 6 acres of land with a pond. And like on the low end, I've looked at land on private parties and can see it can obviously vary. But if someone's looking to do it and they want to find something cheap, you can definitely do it for $2,000. Definitely not every state you can, but I know for sure Arizona.
Yeah, depending on like once you figure out exactly where you want to live and you weigh the pros and cons of the state, there's different states though that are gonna be in on that list because of the cost of land per acre. But like when we stayed with my cousin in Arizona, he was off-grid there, and there's definitely cons about being in the middle of the desert as far as water, how far you'd have to drill, and stuff like that. But the land there was $300 an acre, so even if you had $2,000, you could still get the same amount of land as that we have.
Yeah.
And then just work on, different irrigation and stuff like that. You gotta figure out what you're gonna need to do specifically for where you want to be, just like we did.
Yeah, that's why I put on the low end $2,000 for land. It was definitely doable.
And everything that we say on the low end is the low end. So
yeah.
But yeah, $2,000.
Okay, So then next, what we did was we got the land same day. So then we went and we picked up a generator from Walmart because it was the only place open after we finished.
It was a long day.
Yep, we bought the land, ordered our
We
house.
closed on our house in Wisconsin. We bought our land. We ordered our shed. We bought a car.
Yeah.
And we all came here in our RV and we spent the first night on the end of our easement.
Yep.
Because we couldn't even get back here yet. But
Yep.
it was, and a bottle of wine we bought.
Yep.
And a generator.
Yep.
So the generator was just like, oh, and this was after we went out to dinner too. So it was just like, it was a long day.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the cost of the generator. So the generator cost us $500. And now I went through and I checked the Craigslist and the Facebook. So I estimate a generator cost on the low end around $100. You can find some broken ones even cheaper if you're handy. A lot of people don't understand that when the pull cable comes off, it comes out, if something warps in it. There's another way to start them. I have a YouTube video on that. So you can get a good deal there. Otherwise, generators on the high end, they can get up pretty high. I'd recommend getting something around the $500 range. Harbor Freight has a really good generator. That's the Predator, very reliable. Not super impressed with the one I got from Walmart. It's been, I don't want to say reliable, but I've been able to get it going. So, anyways, we'll move on from there. Temporary living space. So, once you get your land, you're obviously going to need a temporary living space. If you plan on doing the shed or building a cabin or something else.
We did, but if you're living in the city or something and you want to buy land first before you would sell or anything, you could definitely do that as well.
Yeah, and commute and work on your land. But if you want to get out of paying rent and get on your land right away, then you want a temporary living space. I know many people will even go as far as living on their land in just a tent. So we estimated that on the low end. We used our RV as a reference point. So our RV we had already owned, so we didn't figure the cost of that into our estimated cost here.
No.
But
that was
yeah.
expensive to live in our RV on our land because we had to use the generator all the time and that cost a lot of gas, and it was October, so we spent the winter here, which is a lot different than Wisconsin, but still we ran a lot of heat, a lot of propane every day.
Yes, unfortunately the RV that we bought, it's not a manually lighting burner, so you can't just light the burner like in normal little campers and just burn the propane without electricity. So that was definitely a cost for us, because especially having all the kids, had to keep them all comfortable. So and otherwise, temporary living spaces, travel trailers, RV, smaller campers, while you're working on what you plan to live in. Because they always say you never should live in it while you're working on it. You won't get anything done because you're just going to sit up all night thinking about what I got to do tomorrow. Okay, let's move on from there.
I've never heard that. Just kidding.
Let's move on from there. So we'll move to water now. So
first land, then water is what we did.
Temporary shelter.
Well, yeah.
Then water. So well drilling. Obviously, we had to have a well drilled. Now, I know in some places you guys can drill them yourselves if it's low enough. But our wells here are 160 feet deep. So if you're looking at land somewhere before you purchase it and you want to get an idea of how much it's going to cost you, I suggest talking to people around the area. So again, I suggest talking to neighbors around the area, ask them how deep their well is. Another thing you can do is you can contact the local well drilling people, and they can tell you where they drilled wells in that area, and they'll tell you the exact depth. Then you can get an estimate. I can't give you a real estimate here because states vary by the foot as far as drilling. It's all different materials. In Oklahoma here, it cost us, for our well, it cost us $2,970. So for you guys, on the cheaper end cost, I just estimated at an even $3,000 because I know in Arizona their wells are incredibly deep. Most people, unless you're a millionaire, are not drilling a well for water out there. I mean, like multi-millionaire. I heard it's deep out there. Anyways.
Sure.
Okay, so continuing on with...
But there's other ways for sources of water too, if you really want to be off-grid.
Yes, obviously rainwater collection. If you have a pond, filtering
just nothing that we were comfortable with.
But yeah, we wanted to have a well drilled, and we decided to go with a hand pump install for our well. That cost us, for the hand pump, it cost us $2,200 to get it installed and the hand pump itself. Now this is where you guys can save some money, which I wanted to do, but unfortunately they were out of stock at the time. I was looking at the simple pump and the bison pumps. Now these cost around $1,200 to $1,500. That's what I estimated for you guys here. Now that's based off of about a 160-foot well, so it can even be cheaper than that. And now those pumps work great, and they come with everything you need to install them yourself. Super easy. We paid people to install ours, and wasn't even installed that great. It was super loose. I had to end up cementing it in myself. Very wobbly. So even still after I cemented it, it's a little wobbly, so I need to throw some more cement on
It looks
there.
like a pain though, so...
I don't think it looked that hard. If you watch some of the Bison and Simple Pumps videos, it looks pretty easy to install. Anyways, moving on from water, we can go to a heat source, which we obviously chose wood heat.
And obviously, depending on location.
Depending on location, what you need. But we got 6 acres, we got plenty of wood here to use. So our wood burner, we ended up buying it new. We ordered it through Ace Hardware, and it cost us $520. Then to install it, it cost us $1,240.
I'm just laughing at how much things cost.
Yeah. Anyways, it cost us $1,240 to install it. Now we got robbed. Watching the guy install it, all he did was take a sawzall to the roof. Kind of did a hack job. We actually
we hired the guy who sold us the land.
Yeah, he said he worked in heating and cooling and knew what he was doing.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, guys, like I got you guys. I'll come and install that." Like made it sound like he was gonna do it for free.
Yeah, it wasn't for free. It was for a lot, and he did a bad job, and we had to have him come back and fix it.
It was the whole thing. I never had
leaked rain, but it's all fine now.
I've never had to do that in my life. Like hired someone and then like I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so for you guys, we have it estimated where I've checked the Craigslist and several places. I've even seen them at rummage sales.
Our neighbor's done his for free.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different crafty ways you can get, but a standard
Don't
like
do that.
yeah, it's dangerous. The standard little 2-burner wood stove like we have in ours, you can find them at rummage sales, find them on Craigslist, find them on Facebook. I'm gonna throw some up there for you guys for $100 or less. You might need to re-season it, and then you're gonna have to buy the piping, which is only gonna cost maybe a couple $100. So I estimated that at about $300 for you guys. Some of you guys are pretty crafty, you can probably get it cheaper. Okay, after that, we will dive.
Don't forget the cost of wood. If you aren't prepared, like if
Yes.
you don't have trees that are ready and cut and dried, and you're just starting out like we did in the winter, where you're gonna start to use it, then just like be prepared to budget and manage money for actually having firewood, because that's something that's totally different going from the city where you can just like touch a button and you're warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, we weren't prepared. We went through a lot more wood than we thought we were going to, and we ended up having to spend money on wood, which sucks.
Especially when you're off grid.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, we just gotta keep everyone warm, so I guess we'll go to the gas station and spend $75 on some wood that I'm gonna burn in a couple days.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Anyways, so next thing we'll talk about, we're just gonna kind of bounce around here a little bit. Well, let's just do the shed right now. Let's do the shed. So our shed cabin, we went and we worked with a person at Dirkison to customize it to however we wanted it.
Well, this was our dream. So being off-grid and self-sustainable was our dream, and we thought right away on getting our shelter in our house that even like how much it cost wasn't as important to me, because it was so important to be comfortable and to have exactly what I imagined when we decided to choose this lifestyle.
So she chose all the windows. We have lots of windows. They charge a lot for windows, but that's something that we learned.
I think it was $10,000 for the windows on our shed.
Yeah, it seemed, whatever it was
Yeah.
a lot. And so our shed, our total
8,000.
cost, it came wired. It was an extra $7,000 or $6,250, I think, to have it fully insulated.
Was
Which,
it? I
yeah.
thought it was 5,000.
Well, we had it. Yes, we had it fully insulated and wired with a light in it because I didn't want to have to run electrical. We all felt that it was something that was important to have pre-done.
We're not that handy.
Well, I mean, I'm that handy.
I'm just no, he's really not that handy.
Okay, yep, so our total cost for our shed was $30,005.64. Now that was really pretty high. They even said it at the shed company. They said we were their biggest sale ever. So
She was happy.
yeah, she was happy.
But,
I bet she was.
It's cheaper than a mobile home, and the reason that we chose a shed over like getting like a prefab or a mobile home or something like that is because there's so many things in a mobile home that we weren't going to use if we were off grid, like a ceramic toilet and water heater and everything that they came with, so it would be like useless. And it was a lot less money to do the shed.
And the way with the shed is that we were able to fully customize the windows, the design, everything, and they were able to deliver it in 2 months.
And even the interior, we were able to actually build ourselves and customize and make it really unique to who we are.
Yeah, exactly. So now we'll dive in and go into sheds on the lower cost. So I put $2,000 and up. You can find them for $2,000. They're not going to be huge. Ours in
Wait, before he goes into that, I want to let you know that the base cost for our shed would have been $17,000. That's with no extra windows, no insulation, no electric, and like very basic, like no U-loft or anything like that. But that was the cost for 16 by 50 feet.
Yeah, and it
base
included
price.
1 door and 4 windows.
And another option is that you don't have to pay for them outright in most states. They all have companies like this, and you could potentially go and order a house, and then you could pay by the month.
Yep, they finance
them.
Well,
So that's why we put $2,000, because you can actually get ones that are repossessed by people who don't make their payments.
yep.
A lot of these are already started to be converted into homes.
So they got some of the work done in them. But yeah, the payment thing is a great option too, because I mean it's going to be cheaper than rent, especially if you're living on your land, making like a $400 payment. Or even
But you need to
less.
make sure that you know how to manage your money and stuff. Otherwise, if you don't make a payment, your shed's gone.
Yeah,
so
that's
you need
why.
to.
That's why we paid for ours outright, so we didn't have to worry about that. I think that is how these shed companies make a lot of their money, because they weren't really used to someone buying one of the larger
Yeah.
sheds, cash. So. Okay, so yeah, I put 2,000 and up for the sheds. I'm gonna throw a few up here for you guys to see that I found today that I was looking at. You can look on your Facebook Marketplace, look on your Craigslist, and you'll see all different kinds. One thing you'll have to consider is if you are buying private party, you are gonna have to find a company. You're gonna have to pay a little extra to have it moved from wherever it's sitting to your location, and then you're gonna want to make sure your location's ready for it. We thought our location was ready, but we needed to cut the road down some more. It took us 6 hours to get our shed delivered back here. So that'll take us into tools to consider and stuff. So tools, I didn't really put a price. For us, I put $609. For you guys, I said prices vary because it really comes down to what you need, what deals you can get, what you already have. A chainsaw is probably one of the most important things you need, besides an axe, obviously.
And it all depends on, our land is situated back like maybe a quarter mile, half mile from the road. And then we have a big meadow that was already cleared, some meadow with pond, and then we're surrounded by woods. So if you're buying land though and it's completely woods, you need to actually consider that, you know, in when you're getting your temporary living situation ready.
Yep.
And these tools are going to be, you know, they're not going to be number 5 on your list. They're going to be like the second thing on your list.
Yeah, especially if it's going to require a lot of clearing, like a bulldozer and stuff. Obviously, renting those are not cheap. Paying someone else to do it's not going to be cheap. But for the sake of this, just on my cheaper end thing, just so we can get a total at the end, I'm going to throw down $200 on here. So, okay, so let's move on now to, let's do solar. Solar, if you guys are going to consider solar.
And we have probably the minimum solar.
We do not have the minimum solar. We have pretty close to the minimum solar. We have the Go Power solar system that's set up for. So we got the Go Power system for our solar system. It's a setup for an RV or a small cabin. Comes with 260 watt panels for a total of 320 watts. And we got a 2,000 watt power inverter. Then we went and we picked up 2 batteries off of Amazon that are solar and wind batteries. Those cost us $189 each. They power our house for
a day.
About a day. So when it's really sunny and fine, it works great.
It's like overcharged when the sun's hitting it during the day, so you can like charge things super fast. And it won't drain the batteries at all, but then once the sun goes down, they drain quickly.
Yeah, it does drain pretty quickly when you're running a bunch of different fans to try to stay cool. So, with that, we also got some other things that we didn't use. That system wound up costing us, there's $1,200 for the system and then $360 roughly for the batteries. And for that, I estimated for you guys on the cheaper end, $300 at an absolute minimum. I see they got the full sets at Harbor Freight. Now, I'm not going to recommend them.
I've seen people use those in our groups.
Yeah? How do they work for them?
They work fine.
Okay. Well, those batteries look pretty tiny. I mean,
yeah, they're not great.
I mean, it all depends on your needs. If you're just using it to charge your phone and some flashlights, I think you'll be fine there.
Or your tools.
But you're not going to be able to run anything real big off them.
No.
Yeah. So if it's a sunny day and you need to charge your tools, like for our tools, we all went with ones that are lithium-ion batteries, so we can just recharge them from the sun.
Which I don't know if that was good or bad. It's like a pros and cons to electric or gas tools.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with the chainsaw.
But we didn't want to have to depend on an electric one.
Yeah. All my other tools, absolutely love the Craftsman Universal batteries.
A gas one.
Yeah. Okay. So now we'll move on here to interior furnishings for your house. For us, it cost us
because these sheds come empty, obviously.
Yep.
They don't come with, cabinets.
Just insulated and completely empty, just a standard board flooring.
Which we have plenty of pictures of in our group, Main Meadow Sanctuary on Facebook. Follows our family.
Yep. We'll throw a link down in the comments section here. So for us, we spent $859 roughly on the walls, and then we spent another $400. That was for the flooring, including the tile flooring that we got in the bathroom. And then we spent about $400 on all the wood for our walls everywhere. We spent about $100 then on our ceiling that we started doing in Barnton, but now we're not really sure if we like the way it looks. We're probably going to want to go with...
It probably makes it hotter in here.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I like the wood look better, and I just want to keep it all cabin feeling. Anyways, for you guys, we estimated that at like $100. I mean, someone can do it with all recycled stuff. It could basically cost you nothing. You just got to know where to look. We found some local places in Oklahoma City, which is just an hour away from us. All the free fence paneling you can grab and load your trailer
Well, it's the
up
same
with
place
it.
we bought our wall from.
Yeah, it's where we bought our reclaimed wood that we used for our walls inside the house. They just give you as much as you want. You just got to know where to look, which only comes from searching. So let's move on here then. So toilet, for our toilet we went with Sunmar non-electric composting toilet. Again, we wanted to use minimal energy as far as that goes. So we had to vent it out through our roof, which that was included in the cost of installing our wood burner. The guy said he'd cut the hole and run it for that too, which that also leaked, so I needed to fix that as well. So our toilet cost us $1,500. Expensive toilet.
More expensive than your modern toilet.
Yeah. But
you
cheaper
can use it.
than,
You can use the compost for your flowers.
yeah. But cheaper than installing a septic tank on your land. So that's going to be something you guys are going to want to consider, because installing
and
a
more
septic
environmentally
tank,
friendly.
definitely. Installing a septic tank will cost you upwards of $10,000.
And you can keep up your compost toilet for free. You don't have to buy. You can find resources around that you can mix with your compost for free.
Yeah.
You make your own microbes, and then you can find free mulch or whatever you need to use. There's a lot of different ingredients. Maybe that's another video we can make.
Yep, everywhere you go you can find stuff. I'm just going to rewind quick for you guys here, and we're going to take it back to the hand pump. Because if hand pump isn't your thing and you're still planning on going off the grid, I just want to mention that there are solar pumps available, and those will run you about $7,000. So that's another option, especially if you want to just get
But
the water
they're not
pumped into your
dependable.
house.
If something breaks, the panel, something in the mechanism of the solar breaks, then you can't use your pump.
Yeah, obviously a hand pump is more reliable, but I mean,
I'm just telling them
I'm
that's
just
why
telling
we
them
chose that.
yeah, we chose the hand pump for that reason, and we also chose it for cost efficiency. So,
I didn't.
anyways, for toilet, we estimated you guys for anywhere from free. I first put $5 because I was like, a bucket and a toilet seat, and then I was like, wait, you could just go in the woods, that's free. So it's pretty cheap. You can do all different things. We decided to build an outhouse, which cost us very, very little. Just some lumber, and then we used recycled stuff that we had left over. We're still in the process of finishing. It still needs a door. Still need to add some tin that we have around here. Sorry about that. Okay, next thing we'll talk about is water filtration system for your drinking water. We decided to get the Berkey water filter.
Which is just okay, in my opinion.
It filters the water really good. It's not super fast at filtering it. Really good. Our water, we tested. It tested all fine. It is a little high in iron, which you can taste, which is why we run it through the Berkey filter, just to be safe. And for you guys,
it's really alkaline. The iron actually, when you tested it, was fine.
Was it?
Yeah, everything was actually awesome, except the alkaline was really high. The pH was around like a 9.4.
Oh, that's actually really good for you.
It depends. Drinking too much can lead to dry skin and stuff. And your filter, if you get a filter in your well is alkaline or something like that, it won't change the pH when it filters it, obviously.
Anywho, we're going to go to the filter for you guys now. I estimated that at $20. Just thinking about your typical Walmart Brita water filter. You just pump your water into that. Otherwise, you can spend money in all different ways.
You don't technically need a filtration system, depending on how you
depending on your source of water, yeah. Anyways, okay.
A spring-fed pond or something, or not a spring. You don't want to drink out of a spring-fed pond, but a spring, a natural spring, obviously would be fine to drink out of.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to continue on here. We're going to go to the garden greenhouse section of it. So for our greenhouse, that cost us, now I put $2,200 on there. I know you bought that. Was that how much it cost? Okay, then I do have a good memory. So for you guys, greenhouses, they can be anywhere from free and up. You can get old windows, you can build your own, you can do all different.
Which you should look on Pinterest or something, how to build a greenhouse with just all recycled windows. Those are really cool.
Yeah, those are
I
really
see those
cool.
in our groups.
Yeah. I was looking at recycled windows. A lot of people try to sell them though, so it's hard to find recycled windows sometimes. But other cheap ways you can do it is just by wrapping the plastic. The next cost we'll dive into is the plumbing miscellaneous stuff. So I estimated that for us, because I didn't exactly keep track, about $400 or $500 here. And then for you guys, we estimated that at a couple $100 here. Yeah, you will probably want to purchase at least one pump if you are going to do the hand pump, and get a couple of those large holding tanks for water. And you're going to want to have like a little electric pump. They can either run off your solar batteries, or what we do is we charge up a couple of Walmart batteries and we bring them outside, place them in a protective case, and we can use them to power our pump that can shoot the water for our outdoor shower, or it can pump water through a hose to water our garden. For the most part, we water our garden by hand. We lug the water from the pond up to the raised beds.
Do not recommend.
Yeah, if we were going to do that, we should have placed the raised beds closer to the pond. It's a good workout,
But
though.
you can collect the rainwater and shoot it from the hose, so.
Yeah, but. Yeah, one more thing about plumbing is you can pick up a lot of PVC just free. People are giving it away.
PVC is not environmentally friendly, though. It has a ton of toxins.
But it is very handy for many different projects, including rain collection. If you cut it in half with a saw, and you can mount it on anything that'll catch rain off your greenhouse, off your house, and you can use it like we're using it to catch rain for our 2 rainwater collection bins. Okay, now we'll get to the grand finale, total cost. So the total cost that it cost us for this project, this adventure and this journey that we're continuing to add to, and we hope you guys will subscribe and follow along with us. Our total cost was $72,685.50. So now what we estimated for a minimum cost, if someone wanted to do this and wanted to make it happen, and this is minimal, would be around $12,475.
And that's just adding the totals of what we did and the low ends that we've talked about for each individual piece.
Yep. We just wanted to create this video to show you guys that it is possible. We know there's a growing movement of people that are getting more interested in learning about being off-grid and being self-sufficient.
And my advice is the first thing that you should do is just start saving money. Because no matter what, you're going to have to start with some money saved.
Yeah.
What is it?
Again, this is Wyatt and Kimber at Main Meadows Sanctuary. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to us. Please also join our Facebook group so you can follow us for daily updates. She's going to be posting lots of different things like
giving birth, so that's lots of fun.
And different herbal recipes and just cool stuff. So.
And we're just totally normal people like you guys watching, so I think it would be good to support us versus, a lot of other people.
Yep, we're real.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, as you notice from my videos, what you see is what you get. Have a fantastic night, guys.
Take care.
See you soon.